Okay, we got variables on both sides, so let's see what's going on here. We draw a river. We're going to need to use the distributive property here. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. And then a negative 9 times 3 is, we could say, plus negative 27 or minus 27. We come over here and we have 4x minus 1. For those of you who are asking, well, do I need to leave change opposite here? Remember, we're trying to get rid of this thing. Leave change opposite really helps us when we're actually going to combine some numbers and we need to remember that this is negative, but we're trying to get rid of this thing. So I'm just going to leave it as a minus for now. All right, so at this point, we want to get all the variables together on one side. We can either move this negative 9x over here, or we can move this 4x over here. You know me, I like to move the smaller coefficient, and the negative 9 is definitely smaller than a positive 4. So I'm going to add 9x to both sides. So I'm going to draw my line here. These do cancel out. They are absolutely opposites. So I'm left with a negative 27 equals 4x plus 9x is 13x minus 1. And now we're at a two-step equation that we've been doing for like a month now. We have a Klingon of 13, we have a lonely guy of 1, we get rid of the lonely guy. How do we get rid of minus 1? We add 1 on both sides. That's the saddest looking one I've ever seen. All right, minus 1 plus 1 cancel out, so I'm left with 13x on this side, and then a negative 27 plus a positive 1. The signs are different. I subtract, and I get a negative 26. At this point, this is a multiplication dot in between. In order to get rid of that Klingon, we're going to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So we divide both sides by 13. These cancel out, and I'm left with negative 26 divided by 13 is a negative 2. We come over here to our check. This is my favorite kind of check. Mostly because I can tell if you guys have really done it or not, because you're going to get a completely different number than anything that you've had in here at the end. So I'm going to change these into brackets because I'm about to use parentheses in my parenthetical promise. So I'm going to have something plus 3, and what is that something? I think it's negative 2. Come over here and parentheses again for x with a negative 2 inside, and then minus 1. And now it's just all about doing the math. We don't want to use the distributive property if we don't have to, mostly because if we made a mistake with the distributive property in our solving, we're likely going to make the same mistake in our check. So we want to definitely just follow the order of operations. So we would add this negative 2 with this positive 3. The signs are different, so I actually get a 1. And so I wind up with negative 9 times 1. And over here, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And then I bring down my minus 1. I'm going to let you finish this off. You need to do the math on this side and also on this side to prove that they are equal to each other. Okay, moving on to B. Distributive property on both sides this time. So 12 times 3 is 36. And then I have 12 times y, which is going to be plus 12y. And over here, 5 times 2y is 10y. Plus, and 5 times 8 is 40. Okay, and I should have driven my river, drawn my river. Okay, so I want to get all the y's together. And I'm going to tackle the smaller coefficient, which is 10. I need to move him over, so I'm going to subtract him on both sides. And remember, you can check right here, this is a perfectly legit statement. Negative 10y is equal to negative 10y. So these cancel out, and I'm left with 40 on this side, and equals in the middle. 12y minus 10y is 2y. And then a 36 comes down here, and this is a plus because of course you get a positive 2y. And at this point we are at a two-step equation. We've got a Klingon here of 2, we've got a lonely guy of 36, so we subtract 36 on both sides. And again, see this true statement, minus 36 is equal to minus 36. These cancel out, you bring down the 2y equals 40 minus 36 is 4. And finally, we get rid of the Klingon by dividing by 2. And so I think my solution for y is 2. We're not sure. We are going to use our parenthetical promise, which means I'm going to change these to brackets and these to brackets so that I can use parentheses. So I'm going to have 12 brackets, 3 plus, and in parentheses for y, I think it's 2. And over here, I'm going to have 5 brackets, 2 parentheses, again, 2 plus 8. All right, I'm going to let you do the rest of this. Just remember the order of operations. You're going to take care of this set of brackets, and then you'll multiply by 12. You're going to take care of this set of brackets, and then you'll multiply by 5, and hopefully you get the same answer on both sides.